Hey everybody, welcome back to another edition of What I've Been Playing, where I talk about all of the video games I played from the previous month. And I always start these videos off with what I've picked up recently. And like I said early on, I had big stacks, and I was like, this is not going to be the norm moving forward, and I'm especially going to be cutting down in coming months. I just have a lot of games to play. I don't need to be buying too many right now, but I do have a few digital. I'll name those first of all. Early on, I think it was literally the first of the month, July. I did get a few digital games on the Switch because there's a big sale going on the eShop at the time. I think there's still a sale going on now too, but just some great deals. All these games were pretty dang cheap, and most of them were just Switch games. But it was also at the time I had just gotten a Switch 2, so any excuse to play that more, I'll take it. So I was like, all right, I'll get these on there, even though some of them I might have wanted physical, what have you. I'll settle for these low prices. So some of the games I got: Bastion, Don't Starve, Moving Out, Ori and the Blind Forest, Pentiment, and Super Meat Boy. The only one I'd really played before was Super Meat Boy. I had played it years ago. But yeah, it was like couldn't hurt having it on the Switch 2, or on my Switch 2, Switch version, whatever you might want to say. And physically, I only have a couple, and then my third will lead into what I've been playing. All right. First up, I have Dying Light on the PlayStation 4. This is the only reason I really got this was because we have a series over on Tarkron called Box Art Battles, where we pit video game box arts against each other to see what wins. Usually a random compilation from my brother, putting them together against each other, and you get a random winner of each episode. This one actually won our horror edition a few years ago on there, and then it came back and it won our season finale, where it was all the winners against each other of the first 8 episodes. So just on the box art alone, I got this. I'm trying to keep. I think it's kind of cool having the box art battles winners if I can. I don't have all of them, but most of them. And yeah, I'm due for a good zombie game. Like there's a couple I really want to play that I haven't. So absolutely, Dying Light. Here's a game you might have heard of as Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This is when I just heard so much good word of mouth. Like I had no interest in this initially, but I've heard so much good word of mouth that I'm like, I'm really compelled to dive into this. I would love to play this. It's just, man, I gotta get myself. I have a couple games I'm playing, a couple games I need to get back to, so it's tough. But it's like, dang, I finally got this. It was hard to get a hold of for a while, but finally came. And yeah, just haven't been able to play it yet. Lastly is Donkey Kong Bonanza 2. Look at that Switch 2 case. You don't see that often. Donkey Kong Bonanza. Alright. This is one that I have been playing, but I'm going to talk more on that in a bit. As always, I try to go chronologically on what I played as much as possible. So early on in the month, I was still playing Fantasy Life I, The Girl Who Steals Time. That's one that kind of like completely slipped my mind almost, and I'm playing a bunch of different games, and then moving into Donkey Kong Bonanza. I'm like, oh yeah, I was playing that game. I need to see that through. What's going on here? Again, it's like pretty simple, and it wasn't like, ooh, I need to keep playing this. There's an addicting element to it, but it's not like I'm super compelled. I need to see this through. But I do want to see it through. I also played some Super Meat Boy. I don't know when I played this. It must have been so long ago. I forget what I played it on. Maybe on the 360 at some point. I honestly don't remember. But these first couple worlds are very familiar to me, so I definitely played these levels. Just was trying it out, and just as I've been enjoying games like Celeste with the tight platforming, it's like, man, Super Meat Boy was one of the first to really do it like that, and so I wanted to give some respect to that. Pentiment is a game that's very interesting. Just artistically is what drew me to it. It's like a 16th century backdrop, and you're literally just, it's a narrative story in that time period. I have no idea where it goes, but I was fascinated by the visual style, and so that's what sold me on it. I do want to play more of that as well. Like I'm saying, a lot of these games I dabbled in and just haven't seen them through. Then there was a day I went over to my brother's house and we played a few random games from NSO. So we played Pokemon Stadium, Pokemon Stadium 2. We used to, when growing up, you'd play the Pokemon Stadium mini games. And so we went back and did some mini games in there. Pokemon Stadium 2 we had only rented. We never owned it. So those mini games were much less familiar to us. But we played those as well. I sucked at these games, that's for sure. We played a round or two of Mario Tennis, and then we played some Kirby's Dream Course, which I think is really fun. It was getting really late at the time, so we didn't play too much of it, but that is one I enjoyed watching Game Grumps play once upon a time, and I totally get it. It's a lot of fun. So I want to play more of that sometime. Also dabbled a little, like we played Wimby one session of Mario Kart World as well. Other than that, I haven't played Mario Kart World since talking about it in the previous month. Something I still need to go back to. That's one I wanted to 100% as well. Played a tiny little bit of Moving Out with my girlfriend. It was her birthday this month, so I was doing a lot to celebrate her, treating her to stuff, and we were just hanging out, played some of this. We played a good amount of Overcooked. We played all of Overcooked. We beat Overcooked 2, and we're still partway through the tons of DLC in that game. It's been a while since we played it, but Moving Out is very much in the same vein as Overcooked, except you're moving furniture. So I don't think it'll hit the same level as Overcooked. It's hard to, but still fun. Oh, and that's right, we did play Mario Kart World together a little bit as well, just not too much. And then from then on out, July 17th, I had just dropped my girlfriend off at the airport early morning because she was going to see her friend also for her birthday month here. And it was like, okay, it's early morning. Let me go and try to get this thing first thing at Walmart. And I did. And I played as a couple hours that I could stay up for before falling asleep. But then went all in. Days and days consecutively playing this game. Tons. I've put in tons of hours on this now. I've officially beaten it, and now I'm working on the 100%. I think I have about, since the post game adds a bunch, I have about 80 bananas now to get to 100%. The records are a whole other shebang. I don't know if there's an easier way to collect those, or if it's just going to be monotonous hoping to get them through the store clerk thing. Anyway, Donkey Kong Bonanza. This is quite fun. I'll say I don't think it's at the level of the 9 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s that I saw it getting before it came out. That was really getting me hyped. Like, oh, this is going to be great. It is great. There's some really fun powers, the bonanzas themselves, which really elevate the experience for sure. But I do wish they were more creatively implemented. And now, from the little bit I've played in a couple of the rehearsals, they're called, in the post-game content, they seem to be more of what I was looking for. Actually challenging sequences utilizing the power-ups. I don't know what it is about Nintendo games where sometimes the whole game can be super easy and then you have to wait till the end to get the real challenge. But that was my biggest... I think it's still... those criticisms are still just, because you shouldn't have to play through all the way to the end 100% to get any sort of challenge of a game. But this game was just a cakewalk, and then you get certain powers that just really make it like nothing. It's like my problem became, it was a lot of fun. It's very addicting going through destroying the terrain. It was awesome. Pretty much everything was destructible. That's the whole charm of the game. But at the same time, I didn't appreciate the levels as much as I probably would, because I'm just tearing them all up. It's addicting, and it became so much so that, like, I was just turning my brain off. It was so mindless to me. It was almost too mindless. Like, yeah, it was fun to put on in the background while I listen to podcasts and videos. You can't do that with every game, especially the narrative-based games. You can't do that at all. So it was fun for that aspect. But it was almost so brainless or mindless. So I'm like, Wow, I've been playing this for a couple hours, just tearing through terrain nonstop. What are we doing here? But I did have a fun time with it overall. And look at that, isn't that just fun? Doesn't that just look like fun? I'm a big Donkey Kong fan, if you don't know. I was very skeptical on the design, the redesign at first, but now it's like, man, I've spent so much time with this guy, I'm used to him. But he is like a different character. I said that from the start. He's almost like a different guy, and I have to accept that. Because even his personality is just so different in the game here. But yeah, I'll tell you what, this is definitely not what I would have expected from a Donkey Kong game. If you were to tell me, a lot of collectibles, which is great. That's what I was hoping for. Like when we saw it shown off initially, it was like, man, we're destroying stuff. That looks interesting, but it's not really Donkey Kong like collectathon that we're looking for a 3D Donkey Kong. But it has that in spades, and it has a lot of charm to it. But I do think even stuff like the minecart levels would have been fun to actually have some fun, challenging minecart levels in there. They're just like little gimmicky throwbacks to the original, I guess, but not like full-on levels and with some depth and challenge to them. Anyway, Donkey Kong Bonanza, if you're into that sort of thing and want one just to pass the time while you're listening to a podcast or something, this is for you. And this literally occupied my time from July, was it 17th, I said that it came out and I got it, all the way up until just a day or two ago when I finally beat it. I've been playing it pretty much consistently since then, almost every night. Like, it actually took a surprisingly long amount of time to get through the game, let alone to 100% it now. And but yeah, so while it was fun while it lasted, and I'm still playing it for 100%, it did distract me from being productive with any other games. So for that, I do need to get back on track, and hopefully can do that in this next month, have it more of a variety. I don't know. To be fair, when I'm recording this, it's August 12th. The only thing I've played so far is this, so don't get your hopes up. Anyway, let me know what you've been playing recently. What did you play last month? Whatever.